Long, long ago, in the village of Mansi, the people danced to the tune of the drums at the center of the village as the whole community gathered to celebrate the young women. The ritual for the new adolescent girls in the village was about to commence. Every girl that had gone through their first period danced to the beat of the majestic drum. It was the dance of joy. Finally, they were to become women. Inni was dancing to the calabash that contained the eggs. As the music died down, the priest stood before the natives and said, "This is the time and the day of the year that the gods bless the young ladies of our town." Each lady took an egg from the calabash. That egg should be cooked by tomorrow and return here for the final rite to become a woman. You all can now disperse to your various homes. Inni returned home with her eggs, ready for tomorrow. That evening, on her way to the river, Inni saw a little girl, crouched down, crying. She went close to her. Kneeling to her level, she asked, "Little girl, where are your parents?" The little girl touched Inni and whispered to her, "When you return home, switch the egg given to you by the fetish priest for a farm egg. Please do not eat the egg you brought home today." Just as she completed her statement, she vanished into thin air, scaring Inni. She ran home without looking back, leaving her pot behind. She hadn't slept or blinked throughout the night. Who was the little girl she had seen? How was she able to vanish into thin air? Why did she ask me to switch the egg I brought home from the village center? With all those questions, Inni got up to start the day. First, she took the egg she brought home from the village center and disposed it, replacing it with an egg from the farm. Nam watched her daughter dance with the boiled egg in her hand, in line with other girls. Her demeanor and her energetic dance the previous day was gone. She looked disoriented, stiff, and out of place. Young ladies of Manse, today you become the women of this village. But before you can fully become a woman, you'd have to swallow the boiled egg in your hands. Do not chew, just swallow. Inam watched her daughter nervously swallow the egg in her hand. A round of applause erupted from the natives of Mansi, ushering their young ladies into adulthood as they danced around. At midnight, Inni turned in her bed, restless and unable to sleep. She sat up on the bed looking through her window. There she saw a huge snake, about 10 feet tall, at the entrance of her mother's compound. It stood there just staring into Mama Nam's compound, but unable to venture into it. Inni, out of fear, ran to her bed and curled herself into her bed, sleeping. After that fateful night, the snake came to stand at the entrance of their compound, but always couldn't enter into the compound. It was just there, staring into their home. Inni feared the snake, and she feared for her and her mother's life. One evening, while sleeping, Inni had a dream, and in that dream, she saw the little girl. Quickly, the little girl ran to her and said, "I am glad you didn't take the egg like I told you not to. You saved me before. Now it was time for me to save you. I returned the favor. Before Ini could question her further, she was awoken by her mom. It was morning. Inam had been watching her daughter closely since the second day of the womanhood rites. She didn't look like her normal self. Ini would sit by herself and avoid all her friends. "My daughter, I have noticed for the past week you've been edgy and avoided everyone entirely. What is wrong with you, my dear?" Inam said, stroking her daughter's face. Ini thought hard and said to her mother, "After we came back from the village center on the first day of the womanhood rites, going to the river bank that evening, I saw a little girl lost and crying. Just as I got close to her to question her about her parents, she told me not to eat the egg given to me by the priest of Mansi, but rather go with a different egg from the farm." Inam listened to her daughter without judgment as she continued. "Ever since that day, exactly at 1 a.m. in the morning, a 10-foot cobra came to stand in front of our compound. It was very huge, tall and scary, Mama. I don't know what to do. This morning, I had a dream about a little girl telling me how glad she was I didn't eat the egg. She also added I saved her, so she repaid the kind gesture." Inam sat silently for minutes, taking in all her daughter had said. "When I was your age, just like you, after my humanhood rite, I dreamt of a huge snake, like you described, come into my room and sleep next to me every night. It was a constant dream until I got married. And the day your father passed away, I saw the same snake biting in my dream. Your dad passed away that morning on his way from the market, just riding on his bicycle." Ini realized this issue was bigger than her. "Ini," Mama said. "Ini," Mama Nam said. "When you sleep tonight and the little girl visits, hold her tight and refuse to let her go until she tells you all you need to know." Ini nodded and went. Weeks passed and the little girl had not appeared in her dreams. But one thing that was consistent was the snake. It was there every morning at 1 a.m. It was a beautiful Monday night. Ini went to bed earlier than usual, and as she drifted into the deeper realms of sleep, the little girl came to her, and like her mother had told her, she held on onto the little girl. "You have to tell me what is happening. I would not let you go until you do so." The little girl struggled with her, but Ini prevailed. "My name is Inoko, a snake girl. You played with your friends at the big oak tree in the village square, where we lived in the spirit realm. I came out one day to play, and so was you and your friends. And your friends began to chase me with a stick, ready to end me. But you fought them off for me and told them to leave the little baby snake alone. That was the day I vowed to help you and protect you." Ini recalled the day she had saved the little snake. "What about the giant snake that came to my compound every morning at 1 a.m.? Ini asked the little girl. "Oh, that's my father. He is the god of the land. Since time began, every woman of this land is given an egg during the transition from childhood to adulthood. That egg ties the woman to the god. After the initiation at night, he visits each and every one of the girls and becomes first husband. He is the first husband of every woman in the village before they are married off. When the husband of the woman he wants becomes a bother to him, he kills him. I saved you from him. He can come every night and stand at the entrance of your compound, but since you've not taken his egg, he has no authority to enter your home or your compound, and no right to your home. Ini let go of the little girl and thanked her. She woke up from her dream with a newfound purpose and hope. She told her mother everything. This is how the descendants of Ini beat the system and changed their lives by escaping the snake god and his spiritual marriage.